Hi guys, welcome back. Couple of items I bought this week off eBay. I thought I'd show you. Quite interesting. You win some, you lose some with this eBay buying vintage watch business. I did okay with one, and a couple not so well. So the main one, I've been looking for a pocket watch for quite some time. I only want one just for the collection, just as a point of interest. So when this one came up, I thought, yeah, I'll have a go at it. And I managed to win it. So it's an Omega pocket watch from 1937. It didn't look like this when I bought it. It wasn't working. And it was very tarnished, pretty grubby. And it's cost me, I think it was approximately £65. And it wasn't, as I said, it wasn't working. I've managed to obviously clean it up. And I've got it working. And the case wasn't closing properly either. So, yeah, this one has got a bit of a crack on the crystal. It's like a plastic crystal. I don't know if that's original. No idea. I don't know much about these things. But it's a very interesting and nice looking watch. And I haven't actually wound this since yesterday, so it's still ticking along. I didn't set it at the correct time, so it's not at the right time, and it's running a bit fast, I think, anyway. It needs a proper service, that's for sure. So it has this back plate which unfolds, showing a serial number which I looked up on the Omega site, and it references this serial number to 1936 watch. So we know it's all genuine, and we know the date of the watch, and you can see there's an Omega stamp in the middle there as well. The hallmark underneath the serial number there says 1-4, and underneath that an R. So as far as I can find out, the 4 is to do with silver plate. I think the R is as well. So it's to do with the parts, how much silver plating is on there. So it's not solid silver. And you can see there's like a spot here where the silver plating's come off. So it's pretty obvious that it's not solid silver. But it's come up pretty nicely. It's not immaculate. I mean, it's 1936. There's a couple of little dents in the case there. But it certainly looks a lot better than when I first got it. And that mark is there as well. So something I think has been trapped on the inside that has caused the silver plate to come away at that point. The movement is particularly nice looking. Here we have the serial number again on the inside of that door. And look at that, beautiful looking movement. Again, it didn't look as good as this. I've given this quite a good clean up. So when I received the pocket watch, it wasn't working. It was overwound. So the first thing I did was move that lever across, holding onto the crown because it was spin fast, so that it could unwind, because it will unwind very quickly. So you have to hold the crown and let it unwind slowly. Once I'd done that, as I am not a watch repairer of any description, I used a bit of lighter fuel, which you probably shouldn't do because it can cause problems, but sometimes this can actually rejuvenate the oil that's underneath the jewel. So I put a drop of lighter fuel on top of the jewel, and I wiped a bit of oil around. I may have even given a little spray of WD-40 in there. I know, sacrilege, but it's working. It still needs a good service. As I said, I think it's gaining maybe 2 or 3 minutes an hour. So it definitely wants a decent service. I'm probably not going to do that. I'm just happy that the thing is working and it'll just stay in my collection. I'm not going to go to the expense of having it serviced. I'll probably keep hold of this. As I said, it cost me £65. I think now it's generally working in a cleaner condition. It's, I don't know, anywhere up to 150. So anywhere from probably the price I paid for it up to about 150, looking around at similar watches in similar condition. If it was solid silver, it would be probably 250, but I think silver plated in a nice, pretty good, clean condition, working, I think we're around the 100 mark. So hopefully I've got a little bit of profit in this just with the basic cleanup I've done and managed to get it unwound and ticking and working. But I'm sure someone would love to get their hands on that and completely strip it, clean it properly and service it properly and get this thing working more accurately. But it's obviously being a pocket watch. It's not something I'm going to use. It's just a nice thing to have as a collector's piece. The box didn't actually come with it. I had that box already. And it was another watch that was on this little cushion. So I've pulled a little bit of the stuffing out. I'm using that like a little pocket to slip that in. Somewhere to store it. So along with this watch, this week I bought two other watches actually. So in here, here's the other one I purchased. Another 1930s watch. Now this was really grotty when I got it and not working. As you can see, it's not working now. Now this is one I had some success with and it's just not working anymore. I think this one is really gummed up. Hasn't been serviced since the year dot. I did the same treatment as I've done on other watches with this. I kind of basically took it apart, cleaned the plastic glass that these old 1930s watches have, put a bit of toothpaste and gently cleaned the dial up, and it's come up really nice. And I used a little bit of lighter fluid on the jewel, a little bit of oil, wiped around, gave it a little bit of a warm up, and it started working, but only for kind of a few seconds, and it would stop. And now I just can't get it to work, and it's overwound, and it's always been overwound since I got it, and I can't see how to unwind this one. So I was hoping to get it going and just let it wind down itself. So that's at full wind at the moment. The hands move around. Perhaps if I give it a shake, it might tick for a second. I just don't think it's playing ball anymore. Yeah, I mean, at the second hand, it probably moved slightly. Good thing about these watches is you can pull the backs off pretty easy usually. I could probably do it with my fingernail. Right, to show you the movement. So I've cleaned that back plate up as much as I could. It's got quite a bit of tarnishing on there. I'm going to be very careful because I did lose the hand when I went to the kitchen to get some stuff, but I managed to find it on the carpet. It took me a while because it's tiny, and I popped it back on. Yeah, the hour hand, sorry, popped off. It's got a nice little dial. Beautiful little movement again. I have cleaned it up a fair bit. It was quite grotty, but I don't know where the release is for the overwind on this. You probably have to pull it apart further. But the balance wheel is pretty free. I mean, It's not too much, I'll just gently touch it. Try that again. I shouldn't be using my finger, but just use it. It's not far off working, I don't think. So I'll probably pop that one back on eBay. Someone, who wants to get involved, strip that down. I'm sure we'll get that working without any problems. So as I said, I'll probably chuck that back on eBay at some point, let someone else have a go at that. But at least I've cleaned it up a little bit. What did I pay for this? I can't even remember. About £5 or something? I'll have to have a look. And the other watch I got this week, another one which I knew wasn't working properly. I mean, this is a funny story with this one. This is a funny story. So the guy who's selling this, he's tried to sell this. I mean, umpteen times I've seen this watch. He sells a few West End watches, or he puts up for sale a few West End watches. And sometimes he has some quite interesting watches. But his eBay feedback is horrendous. Horrendous. Because what he's been doing is he'll sell the watch, he doesn't get the price he wants, and he just doesn't send it out. So he's got all this negative feedback saying, oh, I won the watch. He just cancelled it immediately, or he didn't send it out, blah, blah, blah. So I've been watching this going on for quite a while, and I saw this one come up. And of course, it's frightening people off. And I think this one had come up for the umpteenth time, this watch. And I think this one had actually been sent to someone and they'd sent it back. So this thing's really done the rounds. And I won it for £10. And I'm like, there's no way he's going to send it to me. It's like, he's not going to send it. Sure enough, a few days go by, nothing's happened. I'm thinking he's not going to send it. What do I do? So I sent him a message. And I was like, hello, friend, I'm really looking forward to receiving my watch. And I thought, he's got other watches on there. Let's pretend I'm interested in the other watches, because then he might think, oh, I don't want to upset him too much. He might be buying some other watches off me. So I asked him a question about one of the other watches, and to show, my interest. And then he comes back to me and he says, oh, you're both in Kent. Why don't you come and have a look? Oh, it's a bit strange. It's a bit broken English, and I'm thinking, no, like no way am I going to this guy's house. And I had to look where he is, and he's miles away. Although he's in the same county as me, it's a good 40 minutes away. So I said to him, no, I'm too busy, and left it at that. I'm thinking, oh, he's not going to send this watch out. And blow me, he does send it out, so it worked. But I didn't win the other watches. He had some quite nice watches on there, but I think by then people, I don't know, were taking a gamble on the watches he was selling, because they started to make money again. But this one I managed to get for £10. He advertised it as working. His description was very vague. It's something like working, but key not working. So I wasn't sure what key meant. I'm guessing it was a stem. And of course, actually, the pocket watches have keys, don't they? And I don't think English is this guy's first language. So I think key is this. So I'm thinking, okay, something wrong with the stem. It's a beautiful looking watch, and I have cleaned this up quite a bit. And you see it has Arabic date. And it's sorry, I forgot to explain. It's a West End watch company. And I'll get the back off and show you the movement. It's beautiful. It's only a tiny little watch, like 30mm, something like that, across. And it's got a very interesting strap, which has like a pull through and a little lever. So you just pull that to the point you want it, and then you clip it on. Let me unzoom this. Sorry, what's going on? Technology. Yeah, so then you pull it, clip it, then it holds it. And then it's quite difficult to get off your wrist. You have to wiggle it around and then it comes off. So the problem with the stem, it is ticking, it's working, it will wind, and it's not keeping particularly good time. You can probably see it's running too fast. But when you pull the stem out, I was managing to move the hands, but only when so you usually turn the crown clockwise to move the hands, and that wasn't doing anything. If I turned them, now it's really dodgy, this stem. It's a terrible design. It's very close to the edge, so it's hard to pull out. So anyway, the hands, if I turn them backwards, they were working, but now they don't. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. There's something definitely wrong. I couldn't get the date to turn around until I was really playing with it, unscrewing the crown to the point where it almost fell off, and then it would suddenly move the crown, the hands in the right direction and the date in the right direction, but then the crown would fall off. So you get to this point where all of a sudden you start to get a bit of movement, but it's really gummed up. Not quite sure what's going on. But I'll just take the back off and let you have a look at the movement, because it's a really beautiful quality watch. And these do make quite good money. So I think for £10, even not working properly, I've done well. Now I think I've got this still hand tight. Let's have a look. I might have to get some tools out and have a look at this. Right, hang on, let me pause this. Okay, so I managed to get the back off, and it has this kind of hexagonal back plate, really nice quality, and then it has this little second plate which fits on the back, pops on the back. There you see it ticking over. So it's a Swiss movement, 17 joules. Again, beautiful looking movement. It seems to be of good quality. Just running fast. So someone who knows what they're doing could probably sort this stem issue out, and then you've got a really nice looking watch actually. And pretty rare. Let's pop the back on. So that little plate goes first, pops onto the movement like that. And then the other one screws on top. So here we have it on my 6.5-inch wrist, but even on my relatively small wrist it looks tiny. You see how the strap clips into one of these gaps, which is quite a simple design, but it seems to work. It's just a bit tricky taking it off sometimes, but I'm getting the hang of it. It's got like a serial number between the lugs. 2636, I'm not sure what that's for. 235, sorry, 2635. Beautiful blue dial with a gold star centre and the gold battens set against that red second hand going round. It's a pity it's not a bit larger actually, but very nice, good quality, interesting looking watch. So I'm going to keep hold of this one, because it took me a while to buy this, because I've seen this up and down on eBay so many times. I was lucky he sent it to me for that price. I think he wanted a lot more than that. Okay guys, so that's the watches I purchased in the last week or so. I don't usually purchase quite so many, but sometimes a couple come up and you think, what the heck? I think I've done relatively well. Looks like the hand's missing. Oh, there it is. For a second I was thinking, where's the other hand? Yeah. So, I got myself another Omega. Pretty pleased with that. Okay guys, signing off. Take care.